I would love if you would just give us a brief introduction and history and kind of overview of your company, what you guys do, and
Okay.
I think that would be a great first segment.
Well, how I got into pest control, uh, I had been grown up out in the country. The vet lived down the road from us and would pick me up with his daughter and take us with him. Go get me that horse. I need that calf. Okay, I'm going to distract the sow. You grab the piglets. I don't like pigs because of that. Very scary. Chasing chickens, all that. And then I learned as I got older, you got paid for doing that. Went to work for vets, loved it. And I didn't understand because growing up in the country, my dad and my uncle sprayed DDT. Never, we knew it made me sick. Never had any of the animals have a reaction. They did it the way they were supposed to. Um, I couldn't understand living in the city how all these animals were having reactions to pesticides, and none of them were ever sprayed deliberately. But as it was explained to me by Dr. Lloyd Reedy, who was a dermatologist for animals and was the only one for many years, he said, they don't wear shoes. They lick themselves. They lay down where it's present, lick themselves, or there's a dead bug. They eat anything. That's how they get poisoned. And he was right. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. And a gentleman came in, and I actually worked for him for a short period of time. I left veterinary medicine and went to work for him to learn what I could about pest control. And I learned here in Texas, because each law writes their own, or each state writes their own laws, rules, and regulation. And it is legal to say we're eco-friendly, no matter what you use here. And it wasn't till I met an entomologist, Dr. Ray Thompson, that he explained everything to me and told me, yes, it can be done without synthetic chemicals. And that's how we started our company, because nobody wanted to do it. And there's a reason. There is a cost factor in equipment. You can't use the same equipment. So I started my company, and in my 6th year of being in business and doing great, Dr. Thompson said, well, you proved my theory. And I was like, theory? What theory? That you can do pest control without synthetic chemicals. And I was like, wait a minute. You told me it could be done. And he goes, in theory. I was like, I believed you. So that was me not knowing anything about the industry and being gullible, which I am glad I was, because now we're in year 16. And I don't want to use anything synthetic. I don't know why anybody does. It works. BlueMagic is a dream product. Um, I mainly use it for mosquitoes. I do use it for other things, but it is our go-to for mosquitoes. And we all hated doing mosquitoes because you can spray and an hour later you're going to get bit. And tomorrow you're going to get bit. And all those products says, oh, last 30 days. None of them do. You're lucky to get 2 weeks with occasional bites. BlueMagic, there are no bites. My clients love it. I have people that have started calling in February going, should we go ahead and start doing it? They are that happy with it, which that's good for me, revenue wise. And I found a new piece of equipment to use that my guys absolutely love. It cut down on the quantity that we're putting out. We don't need near as much. And BlueMagic, I have the big spray rig. So it would do 30 gallons. It would take 60 ounces of BlueMagic. Well, I can do it with this new piece of equipment and do between 13 and 30 ounces.
Oh, wow.
Instead of gallons. And what you're doing is getting the product where it needs to be. And this is called an electrostatic gun. and it attaches itself. It positively charges the product in the gun, and an inanimate object is negatively charged, and it wraps around it. So if I spray it at a tree, it's virtually almost going to go around it 100%. So as I'm going around the tree, I'm really putting out a lot of product, and I can get it places, cracks and crevices. I can put it in damp areas because BlueMagic does not affect anything that's in water, like koi fish. And there's a lot of koi fish ponds in Dallas.
And they're not cheap.
No, those fish are expensive. And whereas previously we were taking tarps and covering them and doing the area around them, let it completely dry because we didn't even want to drop to get in there, not at all. Because there are some products that are very, very good, and they are green. There are essential oils. They're not synthetic, but it'll kill a fish. And we're not going to kill somebody's koi pond. And with BlueMagic, we're not worried about it. And the other thing doing those sprays that you have is drift. We don't have drift because we're not using gallons. We're doing, sorry, ounces, and just, I walk up to a bush, stick the gun in there and turn it every which way. Mosquitoes are gone.
Hmm.
I can treat people's fences and it attaches to the fence. They're not going to cross it. Whereas, I could spray a fence. Well, I'm worried about drift. With electrostatic guns, I'm using ounces. I'm not worried about drift. It's going to hit the fence. So it's been a life-altering event for us to have BlueMagic. And that part of our company has really picked up in doing that.
I love it. And Lynn, please remind us the name of your company and where you guys are located here in the U.S.
Okay, it's Eco-Friends Organic Pest Control. Took me 9 years to get organic in our name. Like I said, rules, laws, and regulations. And, in the state, I understand their stance on the word organic, why they don't want us using it. Because really, even though my stuff is essential oils or a green product like boric acid, it's not in its natural form. Therefore, it is not organic in the state's eyes. But unfortunately, people's perception of the word is not the same as the state's. So it's a difficult situation business wise, and we just deal with it the best we can. And we service Dallas, we service Fort Worth. We do go out to Rockwall and Royce City up to McKinney. Of course, Irving and Arlington, which is in front or in between Fort Worth and Dallas. So basically, the whole Metroplex area. We try to get to everybody as we can. And I have people call me outside of that area. I've done this long enough. I can tell them what to do to help themselves. May not eradicate their problem, but they can get control of it.
I love it. Well, and I think that's a lot of it. The fact that you're open to helping people manage to some degree a lot of the common problems that are, somewhat capable of managing from home.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
and the thing,
providing the service that, where
right,
when they can't handle it, you can step in.
right. And what's great, they always ask me what they can buy over the counter. Nothing, but they can buy BlueMagic. That will make a difference for them. And I tell them how to do it. And people don't want to do the job, but when they don't want the synthetic chemical, if I can tell them, they will do it. And they are very, very happy with the results and will call me about different other issues they have. And BlueMagic covers a big territory for them, which is great, as well as their plants. They all have gardens out on the country, and they all have these gardens. I'm like, spray it with BlueMagic. It will help your garden. It will keep the aphids out. It'll repel a lot of the bugs. So it's like I said, it's been great having that product.
I know you said, I want to back up just a little bit. I know you said that, typically you guys tried to stay away or didn't do as much of the mosquito side
Mhm.
of things, and that now you're able to kind of take that on a little more with a little more
Oh,
confidence.
yeah. Well, it's funny, the guys, it's what's called upselling. They never mentions mosquitoes. Now they're like, we got a new mosquito program and they're doing it. And like I said, with the electrostatic gun, instead of a job taking them an hour, it takes them 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
So that makes it so we've got everybody on a 2 week schedule and they have no mosquitoes.
Well, and with a lot of products, you have to allow, dry time,
Mhm.
etc., because it can be dangerous. Even some essential oils
Right.
in their raw form can be dangerous to pets. With BlueMagic, we don't have a whole lot of that problem.
No. And see, I can spray your patio furniture. A mosquito's not going to come near you. That's what's nice. You can actually sit outside and enjoy your yard. And I've had people tell me they're a mosquito magnet. They're not getting any bites. And with the diseases that they carry, and we are seeing them here, it's something to be aware of. And you need to do something about it.
Absolutely.
That's the best part about BlueMagic. We're cutting down on these serious diseases people contracting from being a bite.
And all while being ecologically conscious.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I love about the type of pest control I do. When we first started, we were working for two other companies, and it's scary. You get that stuff on you by accident, and you have long sleeves. You've got on the nitrile gloves. You've got on the water repellent boots. Special work pants, and you have to strip as soon as you get done. And you'd get it on you and be freaking out. With what I do, I'm not worried.
And
It's not,
therefore
yeah,
your customers don't need to be worried. Their pets,
right.
their family members, their gardens.
Oh, yes, and it's amazing the people who get sick from the synthetic chemicals. And I have many clients who are organ transplant patients. They can't be around it at all. Well, they can't be around a bug infestation either. It's an issue, a life and death issue for them. And I've gone into homes with newborn babies. They came home from the hospital and they're infested with roaches all of a sudden, or ants, or fleas. And I've gone and treated. I've done homes with the exotic birds. And birds you can kill by moving them, stressing them. You move them out because of pests. They don't need to leave. You don't need to leave. The baby doesn't need to leave. The animals, nobody needs to leave. And my husband is a child magnet, and he goes into the house, and the kids follow him everywhere, and they will tell him every bug they have seen in their house. Come here, I want to show you this bug. I saw a bug here, and he will treat. So, he's got his own little crowd following him and advising him where to treat.
That's cool.
And we're not worried about it.
I love it. I know you're a very busy lady, and so I won't take up too much more of your time. Could you please tell us where customers can go to find you guys, your website, social media? Um,
Yes, it's ecofriendspestcontrol.com. Look for the red dragonfly. Okay. We do have a Facebook page. I am notorious for not staying on top of it. It's the least of my concerns. And I'm about to change that, get someone to handle all the social media for us. But the red dragonfly is how you identify us. And that started because when I started the company, we had a completely different look than the red dragonfly. It was a very beautiful outdoor picture with a stream that my daughter had taken. Well, when we got our phone number, the phone started ringing, and it was people looking for pest control that wouldn't kill their red dragonflies. And in 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks, we had 8 customers call about that. So I took it as a sign from God, a handwriting on the wall. We changed everything to the red dragonfly. And if you read up on dragonflies, they're about change and they're about protecting you. So I want to change the type of pest control people get, and I want to protect you. That's several different mythologies and several different civilizations. So I was like, yep, there it is right there.
I love it.
So that's, you know, what it is. And like I said, look for the red dragonfly and you'll find us.
And I believe you have a coupon code. What is your
Yes,
coupon code for
it is
BlueMagicNaturals.com?
ECO Lin, LIN.
Perfect. Perfect.
Short and sweet.
We'll make sure everybody goes there and knows who gave them the discount.
Yep, and we can get the product for you if you're close to me. I can direct you, get online and help you navigate your website, which is really easy, but it's reassuring for people that I know your website that well because I'm there and they're like, oh, she does know what she's talking about, and help them look for what they want. And I tend to show them your vitamins, which I love. They are just wonderful for us, because we are older and it does wear it out and the heat gets to you. It was amazing how they turned around. I love the rub for ache and pains and joints, arthritis, and some of your tinctures. They're all very, very good. So I tend to go through your website with people when I'm directing them to it. Take a look, check it out. And you can use that code on anything that they can buy from you, which I appreciate very, very much.
Absolutely. That covers the pet products, the collars, even the
Mhm.
good stuff.
Yes, I forgot about the pet products because people ask me about pet products, especially with fleas and ticks. And I tell them it's the best one. I would tell anybody else, do not put a flea collar on your dog, but put yours on.
Well,
It's gonna be okay. Having been in animal medicine, I know what's gonna happen,
yes, ma'am.
and you're not gonna be happy.
Yeah, no, the long-term health effects from traditional
Mhm.
pest prevention products for our pets are, I mean, well, they're very visible now. We're seeing more and more lawsuits come out
Yes.
for cancers in puppies, and it's just a bad
Mhm.
deal. If it's doing that to our dogs, it's doing that to us. Everything's
Well,
pet fluffy.
Dr. Lloyd Reedy, who was the animal dermatologist, because I was working for a vet and he only saw me because I had a 6-month-old Saint Bernard. Now, this is, I got to think, I'm going to age myself here, over 40 years ago, who had allergies at 6 months. The only reason he saw me is the dog was 6 months. That did not happen. So he wanted to see my dog. And when I took him in, he's like, you just don't see this. Dogs get allergies. They're usually 2, 3 years old. It does happen. And it was severe. He said, this is not good. And he told me the pesticides and the herbicides were the cause. Once again, they lay down out in the yard, they lick themselves, they eat stuff in the yard. And he told me, he said, you will start seeing animals with diseases that have never happened. They'll start having cancer, they'll start being diabetic. He was right. He said, then it'll start in people and we'll start seeing it in our children. And he hit the nail on the head. I
Yeah,
have never forgotten that conversation. And at the time I had it over 40 years ago, I wasn't thinking about having my own pesticide company. And now I'm like, I've got to let as many people know they have a choice. They don't have to do conventional pest control. There is something that works. Is it better? No, but it works. And I've had other operators in my field tell me, oh, it doesn't work. I'm like, really? I've been doing this for 15 years. And they're like, what? Now people call me and ask me how to do it. And like I said, the biggest problem with doing my type of pest control is the equipment. You can't use the same equipment for both products. You got to be separate. But I've never used synthetic. I buy all my equipment new, and it's been great. Like I said, and then along came BlueMagic. I'm excited about doing mosquito sprays now. But before you guys, no, I just cringed because I knew I was going to get a call back, and I don't get callbacks anymore, which I thank you for. Thank you very much for coming up with this product.
I love it. Thank you very much for your dedication and your commitment to bringing natural solutions to, you know, well, Texans,
Well,
Texans, and
products
hopefully
like
more too.
yours, yeah, makes it possible for me to do this. So it's a hand in hand situation for both of us. Win-win all the way around.
Yes, ma'am. Well, that's pretty well all I had today. Did you got
Okay,
anything else you wanted to cover, or that pretty well it?
that's pretty well it. Like I said, I'm very, very happy with BlueMagic and tell everyone about it. And when I first, I tested it 3.5 months, 4 months before I actually integrated it into our business. And then I got the little 2-ounce bottles and I gave them to everybody, because we do little venues and stuff. And I was like, here, try this, and would give them the code. This is what you need, to try and get people to use it. Because a lot of people do want to do it themselves, which if when I don't have to make money off of them to change what I want to change.
Amen.